Welcome to the Locker, Season 7, Episode 9. Apparently, Van House ain't here, and I have messed up a whole lot of action because there's things that ain't sent to the right publications. So let me go ahead and fix that really quickly, and we will get on the way because a lot of things going on in UK athletics, and they could be detrimental to the University of Kentucky. And if you're a fan, you feel a certain type of way. If you're not a fan, you don't feel a certain type of way. But hold on, let me. Sheesh. But anyhow, Van is not on today. His daughter has a function today, so Van will not be joining me. I'm going solo. I ain't never done a solo thing. I told him I'll try the solo thing out, so we won't go 2 weeks without doing. But let's see what's going on. Hold on. And I did meet with. Hey man, I had this hoodie for a while. Actually, we going into the warm weather now. Couldn't create. We going into the warm season now, so I just decided to pull it out because I didn't get a chance to wear it. And when I met Stein, he had it on, man. Like when I seen it on the shelves, yes, I had to have it. So I'm gonna wear it in the house because I'm scared to get it dirty. So when I get done with this show, I'm putting it back in the closet. So I do appreciate you for acknowledging it. Damn. So we don't have a whole lot of Twitter presence at this point because I just set it up wrong. Even the Facebook was set up wrong, but I'm gonna go with it. I ain't even gonna move nothing. If anybody knows what's going on, man, tweet and tag the Twitter feed and the Facebook feed. Since Van's account is attached to it, so Van ain't here, so we gonna do what we gonna do. So here's where I'm with the whole deal. UK football has kicked off spring practice. Will Stein's got things going. Sloan, Bateman, and those guys, defense coordinator, offensive coordinators, got things going on, and it's a short period of time that we have to implement all these things. It's about 3 weeks of football that we have to get the fan base excited. Problem is, I work in the media. I work in the local media. We also do this podcast, which Van is in Louisiana and I'm in Lexington, Kentucky. And the people kind of want to know what's going on with the program. The problem is UK athletics is not letting anybody know what's going on in the program. The other problem is UK athletics has a lot going on with UK basketball. We played on a Wednesday. We played at 12:30 today. And we're gonna play again. We're gonna play again tomorrow, which hasn't happened in 50 years. So there's a lot going on in UK athletics, which is gonna be from my perspective as a former UK football player, that there's going to be a lot riding on Will Stein's season. Because if you've been a UK football fan for any point in time, if football is struggling, everybody wants to know when is basketball, when is basketball. And even with Calipari, even with his non-coaching ass, he's going to bring out some excitement. He's going to have some people who's going to be drafting NBA draft, and you're gonna have an exciting basketball season. We might get knocked out in the first round of the NCAA tournament, but there's gonna be guys you're gonna be seeing playing. Bam hit 83 yesterday past Kobe. ESPN showed it no respect, a lot of disrespect. What he showed, what ESPN showed to what Bam did. But the point is, Mark Pope has an unwatchable product at this point, and I'm not certain it's unwatchable. If you're a UK fan, you just gonna root for him in general. But you do want to understand that OA, who is a role player, has been paid and made the person to produce us victories, and there's a bunch of role players around them. So we could be out after Missouri. Like, we could be out after tomorrow. We could be out of the SEC tournament. Then if we do a first round knockout, it is what it is. So everybody's saying, what's going on with UK football? We've been taking a look at UK football. I've talked to Will Stein. I've talked to Jay Bateman. One of the defensive coaches is a close friend of mine. I've talked to him. And the one thing I don't really understand, and as a fan base, if we want to have an uproar, we have an uproar on things. To me, shit is frivolous. After a basketball game we lose, everybody's yelling at the refs. If you handle your business, the refs has nothing to do with the game. Point being is, if we get to football, I think, and we give Will Stein a chance, I think everybody's kind of saying basketball is not going to do it. They're counting on Will Stein. Will Stein is putting some things together. I don't think that the football aspect of it, or the X's and O's, the coaches aren't available and things like that. So I just don't think that it's going to appease the fans because of what Mark Pope has going on. Hey, Ann, how are you doing? I mean, Amy, Amy, how are you doing? Point being is, I do think UK football is doing what they have to do. I'm not totally sold on what UK athletics is doing after the firing of Buzz, or not the firing of, the letting go of Buzz Baker, who's been around for a long time. Mark Pope, and the reason I started the conversation off the way I did, if Mark Pope does not handle his business, I'm not certain if he's going to be around. And so all the eggs are going to be, I think, in Will Stein's basket, because our fan base was looking for something to cheer for, and we don't have a whole lot to cheer for. So how do I put this? My dismay with the University of Kentucky football, or just University of UK athletics, whatever happened with John Calipari, whatever happened with Mark Stoops, whatever's going to happen with Mark Pope, our athletic director stepped down prematurely. So obviously he was done with his job. Things were not where they wanted to be. The whole idea that everything is now hinging on UK football, I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair to Will Stein, because Will Stein needs to get a couple years. We gave Mark Pope 2 years. Depending on what happens in this SEC tournament and NCAA tournament, things are going to be what they're going to be. But we've already done what UK fans and big nation has done in the past, saying, well, we're gonna move to UK basketball. UK football sucks. Let's move on to UK basketball. Now we're doing that with UK basketball because Will Stein is new. We're gonna move on to Will Stein. The problem is Will Stein is not making coaches available, not making players available. We haven't heard from Minchie. We haven't heard from quite a few people. So our fan base is our fan base buying tickets? Is our fan base excited about it? Do our fan base even have, can you recognize these people in public? I remember when John Calipari first came, and John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins came into Hooters on Richmond Road. John Wall comes in with the basketball, obviously. Well, I ain't gonna say obviously, but that was his niche, I guess, because he was new in the town and he had to market himself, and he did his thing. And was like, who's that? And one of my friends, like, that's John Wall. Like, he's #1 point guard in the country. Oh, okay, John Wall. But everybody knew that John Wall was coming to town, and there was excitement in the town. I just feel what Mark Pope has going on with the basketball program, Tough game with the worst team in the SEC against LSU today. 3-15 LSU team that we got to go down to the wire, come down. It really wasn't down to free throws. I think we kind of pretty much had it in position, but that was a team we should have easily handled. Now everybody's looking at football. I listened to Will Stein talk. I talked to Jay Bateman. I would love for UK Athletics to do a lot better job of marketing what Will Stein has coming in. I would like for his staff to be available to talk to the public. I would like for his players to be, if your quarterback, if nobody else, Minchie should be available to the public. Okay, if he says something dumb, he says something dumb. Who wants to pay for a ticket to a game that the players don't know the player, or the fans don't know the players? They don't know what to expect from the players. They haven't seen the players play because of their previous college. They don't have a whole lot of film. Let them come out and show their personality. Let them come out and hug some kids, take some pictures with some kids and things. I'm saying from the media perspective, because I was a player at a certain point. At a media perspective, everybody's moving from basketball to football. But football is like, hey, look, we keeping our project private. Like, we don't want everybody on it. Now, maybe Barnhart decided, I don't like the way this thing is going. He jumped ship because he don't like the way. I have no idea about none of that. I just understand that basketball is not going well. If Mark Pope doesn't handle business in the SEC tournament or the NC, if he's a first round knockout in NCAA tournament, next year is going to be tough for him. But even before we even get to next year, it's going to be the Will Stein era is going to be started. So the Will Stein era has a lot of weight on its shoulders, and a lot of people kind of look at it as if, well, Will Stein, maybe the man. He could do a Hal Mummy. When we played in Air Raid back in the 99, back in the 1900s, nobody really believed in it. We believed in it because we understood what Hal Mummy wanted to do. We got mismatches, and we produced a lot of offense to the tune of 40-something, damn near 50 points a game. That's fine. Defense wasn't what it was, but if you are a UK fan, right now, we cover, on Sunday mornings, we cover gymnastics, we cover softball, baseball, volleyball. We cover all sports because the UK has a lot going on. Again, Barnhart has stepped down from the athletic director position, but our money-making, revenue-driving entities, basketball and football, basketball is struggling mightily. And we are rejuvenating our football program. Only problem I have with the football program is that if we are not putting your salespeople out in front, I don't know, like Vince Merrill was a great salesman for it. And this is not a tit for tat or to say that Vince had anything to do with UK success on the field, but Vince was a person that would put the mic in it. He would pump our program at any chance. He would recruit the players. He would be available whenever you need to speak to him. Now, when basketball is over, which for all the basketball bennies or just all the Big Blue Nation fans, you are UK fans. So you've always probably been a basketball fan from the beginning, even if you do both. Football now is at the forefront because basketball is failing, which happens. And it happens the other way around. When football is failing, we can't wait for basketball season. And I just don't think that football is putting I don't think we are marketing our program enough. So I don't know if that is a disbelief or a concern that our program is not progressing at the rate we desire. But I do think that our football program has a good coach, good young coach, a bunch of young coaches behind him in this new blood, and everybody wanted new blood. Mark Stoops came, he ran his course. He took us to a height that we had never been to, and it started to decrescendo, and everybody wanted something new. Now that we have something new, I do think we have to get the fan base rejuvenated and fan base re-energized. and I'm not certain we're doing it the right way. Like I said, we're going in spring ball. Spring practice ain't open to the media. Nobody has seen the quarterback face to face, which is the face of a program that's supposed to be air raid 3.0. I'm only saying 3.0 because after Tim Couch left, it became 2.0. So it's just, I mean, there's a lot going on with UK athletics. And it, like I said, the straw in the hat for me was when the announcement that Buzz Baker was not being retained as a voice of UK. Like, all the people, and any talk radio show you listen to, KSR, Dick Gabriel, Alan Cutler, people always call in and I've been a fan for 60 something years. So like when you listen to these like Dick Gabriel, Tom Leach, Buzz Baker, when you listen to these people who produce the game, these are the people you grew up listening to the game. So the game has changed. NIL has changed the game because you can get anyone to come to university and play for you, which is fine. But there's still the factor of having to produce a product that people want to watch. And I think we've gotten to the point where we spent the biggest budget on a college basketball team in the country. We spent the biggest budget on a college basketball team in the country and have to play on a play-in game in our own conference, which at this point, when you look at North Carolina has going on, Duke has going on, what the ACC has going on, I don't even have the argument that the SEC is, well, they're playing in the toughest conference. No, now Florida is going to be obviously somebody who can compete for the national championship, but us playing in against LSU and not beating them by 20 or 30 points, showing that, look, we shouldn't be in that position. And even they got us in the bracket to play against an undefeated Miami, Ohio team, which is just TV rights that people want to see us play a TV right game that, well, Kentucky, the name itself against an undefeated team is what's going to draw people. All this goes back to getting to, after all this march is done, whatever, it could be done. We lose tomorrow. It could be done. We lose the first weekend of the NCAA tournament. Everybody's turning to UK football. And what are we doing in UK football? Nobody knows. I'm saying that because I have an in. I'm a former player. I should have access. And I'm not saying I don't have access. I have actual access. Point is, it is very interesting that we have a new era and we don't have a whole lot of access to what's going on. And if you guys are buying tickets, which you should, because we wanted Mark Stoops gone. So you guys go buy tickets and hopefully Will Stein is going to do. He's young. He's energetic. Now, one thing I will give you, all the guys I've met, they're all young. They're all energetic. They're all bought into what these guys have going. And I think they brought the right guys in that can be motivated to produce in the SEC. Just the announcement from Mitch Barnhart and what the product that Mark Pope is putting out is along with what Will Stein has going on. And that's the marketing of our football program at this point. When basketball is struggling, I think we should be marketing the hell out of football, and we're not. And I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. I don't know. I think we need to do something. I really think we need to do something.